Hey guys, we are into the third week of our Run Cadence Challenge. We're focusing these last 30 days on little ideas that we can implement each and every single day to improve our run technique, our cadence, and our strength and overall ability to move really well. That was a mouthful, I know. Stick around to hear this week's run progression to talk about the core concept we're gonna focus about, which is gonna be about lengthening and shortening our stride, the ability to push and pull as we run, as well as our core bonus challenge. Let's do it. Hey, quick update on two important things, you Run Cadence challengers out there. First of all, we just published our new training app on the iOS platform this week. So please go ahead and download that and you can do the Run Cadence Challenge from there. We've got a ton of free workouts. You can track with our GPS tracker. There's a community tab. You can talk to us and get some help from coaches, as well as a whole library of programs and singles workouts you can do. Second thing, because we launched our app a little bit later than we thought, we are extending the Run Cadence Challenge to September 15th. So if you see this, you can start back all the way at the beginning, go all the way through September 15th and be eligible for great prizes. That is it. Go back to the rest of the video. I'll keep walking Nora. All right, our week 3 Run Cadence Challenge run workout, a little update here to that workout. We're gonna play with 6 by 30-second cadence intervals. All the cadence intervals are gonna be the same range of a base cadence plus 4 to 6 steps per minute on that 1 foot. But what I want you to play with is changing gears in these intervals in terms of the length of your stride. And we can do that a few different ways. One level that I want you to play with is having 3 of those intervals where you're running a little bit faster or accelerating as you go, maintaining the same cadence. So what that means is that that stride is gonna have to lengthen behind you and open up a little bit more. For the other 3 intervals, I want you to run slower and shorten that stride. So I want you to play with running the same cadence but different speeds and noticing what happens to your legs like an accordion. It goes up and down. The other way you could take this is actually to take it to the hills. You could start to run up hills, shortening that stride, maintaining that cadence. As you roll up over and go down the downhill section, you could start to lengthen that stride as well. Don't forget that recovery in between. We're gonna take about a minute easy between these intervals. Good luck. So I like to use the analogy of gear shifting, of running in different gears when it comes to handling different terrain. Just like I would on a bike. If I'm on a flat road or downhill, I might get it into that big gear so I can really crank, but as I start to go steep uphill, it's gonna be really challenging for me to bound uphill, right? I'm gonna have to downshift into a smaller gear and work on being efficient there. And when it comes to gear shifting, we want to address different aspects of our stride that we can control. There's this aspect where I'm pushing powerfully up off the ground, but there's a moment where I'm also pulling this leg up and over to recover. And to me, it really feels like riding a bike. There's this very circular motion that occurs with my legs, and this pushing and pulling go together. Now, naturally, we're pretty good on the pushing side. What we start to fall apart on is the pull. And this is where we start to lose hip position. We lose this little snap of the hips, and then this hamstring and this heel doesn't come up and over as much as possible. So we want to think about, hey, when I'm shortening my stride today, can I pull those feet up underneath me? And depending when I need to be a little bit more powerful, can I push off as well? And sometimes I like to use a pulling drill to reinforce this. So splitting the difference between a high knee and a butt kick. Some of you guys have seen me explain this before. I'm gonna work on this pull right up in the middle, knowing that as I start to accelerate, this leg really swings out and pulls up underneath. So that's a key concept for this. Can I focus on that pushing and the pulling as I work up and down these hills, especially as I go downhill where there's really no push at all? It's just, hey, can I pull my feet back up underneath me so that I keep my stride underneath, landing where I want it to be? So our core bonus challenge this week is going to accumulate 100 hollow rocks a day. And we're gonna build upon this hollow body position, and we're gonna add this pushing and pulling component to it because we need to address it at the spinal level before we can really add it in on the concept of running, for example. So I'm gonna start here on my back with my knees curled up, and I'm gonna pull my shoulders up off the ground. So I've got this low back pressed hard into the ground, and I'm in this shape. And the first thing I'm gonna start to focus on is a little push forward this way. And a lot of us are naturally pretty good at this way, but what happens if I don't address the pulling, I don't keep my body together and I start to drop back this way. So it looks like this and I'm not really rolling. Your focus is to focus on pulling your hips up off the mat. So I'm gonna push forward and I'm gonna pull my hips back. Push forward, pull my hips back. And what this shows is that I can introduce a little bit of movement while addressing core stability and strength. That's why this is so important in addition to doing static holds, say like a plank. Once I have that, I can start to add a little bit of load to this movement and challenge myself. In this respect, I'm gonna add load by extending my limbs. So I could start by extending a leg. Can I still push and pull? Could I extend an arm? Could I extend another arm? Could I extend both arms and both legs and still work on this pushing, pulling component? Now, if I start to break down, 100 is a lot, right? I almost gave you a number that you might fail at a little bit. I need to downshift into a smaller gear. This is too big of a gear for me. Hey, can I bring it into smaller chainring? And can I bring it into the little tiny gear that I can continue to reinforce? And if I need a little help, I could even grab my shins to give myself that little support. So 100 hollow rocks a day. I know it's a lot, but I know you are up for it. So go forth and enjoy those hills. Remember, you can do this workout in our new app you can download from a link in the description below. You can do it in an interactive way with a little like demo video showing you what to do, as well as messages from me and the ability to talk to our coaches. You don't just have to remember it from a YouTube video. So go ahead and do that. And of course, like this video. It helps other runners find this who might need a little bit of Run Cadence magic in their life. Drop any comments or questions below. We love having a conversation about run technique and just how it affects everything. We want to know how it affects you and how you're doing. And of course, subscribe to our channel, guys, so that you can continue to be part of the challenge. You can see all the new videos that we have coming out each and every week on strength, mobility, nutrition, and more.